All right, good night, everyone. Sorry to be late for this live. I'm hoping to see others to join us tonight. We're starting our Tuesday night live with CDP Labs Video Services once again, looking at mathematics tonight. And tonight we'll start our series of live sessions. Okay? So tonight, it's going to be a good night. And as we promised, that we will go straight into looking at relations, functions, and graph. And other persons, there are still many persons who still need the help of, relations, functions. They still need our help. And I'm willing to give that help to many persons who still need the help of, to students there in Jamaica and the rest of the Caribbean. So, of course, I am the instructor, Mr. Bernard. And of course, I am ready to take you through a journey where you can understand how to approach these exam questions. All right? So if you're here watching on this live, I'm going to ask to share the link with a friend or two and just share the link. Share the link. All right? Just share the link with a friend or two, a family member who you know will be doing CXC mathematics next year for exam. All right? Good. So share the link with your friend or a family member. So we're going to be doing relations, functions, and graph right now. All right? Relations, functions, and graph. So without any further ado, just wait till others join us and give them a chance to join us. All right? So we're going to get into action right now so that, everything will work or it should work. And every Tuesday night we'll be doing this program as we did before. So without any further ado, I'm going to go get straight into the lesson for today. So let us look at the first question. I'm going to bring up my whiteboard. First of all, bring up my whiteboard. Well, my whiteboard is a bashy whiteboard, you understand? Don't think you never see a whiteboard like this before. So I bring up my whiteboard now so that everybody can, participate on such delight. Let me get back to my question. My functions was that I was looking at. So I'm going to get back to it now. Give me a second there. Looking back for the question. Now we'll talk about relations and functions. Just going to go through that question with you guys. All right. Just waiting until more persons join the live. I like when I have a very interactive class. I like when my class interactive and there are persons there watching the live and participating. And we're going to have a little competition, not today, but as time goes by, we're going to have a little competition and things like that, All right. Just give me a second there. Getting up to the question we're going to look at tonight. And there are several questions. So if you have any difficulty, you know. Oh, Kelly, so show the board, man. So show the board. So show the board. Just looking for the question. Just share the link with others until I already share the board. So share the board, Kelly. I see your message. I so share the board. Just looking back on the question, all right? All right, so here we are. Long time question we're going to look at. All right, so I think this is the question. All right, so we'll look at this question here, and we'll get it done. Let me look back for it. All right, so we'll look at question number. It's a recent exam question. And here's the question. So I'm going to share my screen so you can all see the question. All right, so look at that. Question number 15 that says, given that f of x is equal to 4 minus 5x. And let me just zoom into the thing so you can see it. All right, so here we go. Given that f of x is equal to 4 minus 5 times the value of x, and g of x equal to x squared, or the square of x plus 1. Now, just for you to understand, for you to know that when we say f of or g of, we are talking about a function. Good? Now, when you approach an exam question like this, you have to take your time. Don't rush it. And remember, practice makes perfect. So you have to practice as well. Nothing is going to come that easy to anybody, right? You have to practice. So if we see that f of x is equal to 4 minus 5x, and g of x is equal to x squared plus 1, and the exam is now asking us to calculate f of negative 2. Now, I always tell my students to use their eyes and use their eyes carefully. Carefully use your eyes. Now, you're seeing f of negative 2. Now, pay attention. Look to see where f of 2 is. So let's annotate this. F of 2 is in the same position. F of 2 is in the same position as x. See? Note it. F of 2 is in the same position as x. So what I would do, I'd rewrite the statement as f of negative 2 equaling to 4 minus f of negative 2. So once you get this part clear first, then you shouldn't have a problem. So where x is, that's where you're going to put the number between the parentheses or between the brackets as you know it. Always remember that. Always practice that. Good? Now, what this means is that you're going to now compute, because it looks like something that you know can do. Right? Doesn't it? So here it is now. Now, when we have a number outside of a bracket, it means to multiply. So therefore, we are saying f of negative 2 is equal to negative 5 times my negative 2. When you multiply two negative integers, the product of two negative integers will give you a positive value. Therefore, you're going to say that's positive 10, or 5 2 is 10. Therefore, the answer for the first part is 14. Simple. One might say, then, sir, what if I say 4 minus 5 times negative 2? Okay, let's say we get the same answer. 5 times negative 2 will give us negative 10. So guess what? 4 minus 10. A double negative is going to give us a what? A positive. So it's the same thing. 14. So if you forget that you must say negative 5 times negative 2, then always remember that a double negative is going to give you a positive. Well, mathematics is so strange, isn't it? It sends us very strange message, right? But that's what it is. So that's part one. Let's now move to part two now. So our first answer is 14. And that's one of the easier functions question. So now we're going to go to g of f negative 1. Now, when you see the two letters beside each other, let's just examine the expression first of all. That's the first thing you need to do. You have to examine the expression first. Don't just jump at doing the question like that. Examine the expression first thing. That's the first thing you do. Examine the expression. All right. Now, I want you to understand that mathematics is, they would say, is like a language, but it's not, the subject is not a language itself, but we communicate ideas, communicate thoughts using symbols and different ways of expressing it. So it's an expression. And what the expression means, it's a composite function. Composite function. Now, let us look at what the word composite means. Could any of my subscribers Google the word composite and put it in the chat for me, please. Look for the word composite. Google the word composite and put it in the chat. The next person can look for the word compose, because composite comes from the word what? Composition. And the verb is what? Compose. Good? So a composite function, and therefore the word composite can also be an adjective describing the type of function. So to compose means come together. So there's two functions that is coming together, meaning one function is inside of another function. So we talk about composite function, we are saying that there's one function inside of another function. So in other words, then, we are saying then that the function f of x is inside the function g of x. Therefore, that also means wherever you see x, you're going to put the function f of x. All right. So let's do this then. Let's do this. But note, so in other words now, wherever you see x, this is the x in g of x. So you're going to put this function where x is in this function. Good? Watch me now. Watch me now. Watch me now. So guess what? Let's go. So this is all I'm going to write. I'm going to write this now, looking like this. Watch me now. So g of f minus -1 equal, now note, I'm going to square this. So let's put it in a bracket. 4 minus f of x, put it close bracket, square plus 1. So you are seeing that the function f is where x is. Hope you see that. Now, watch this now. Now the value of x in f of x is right here is -1. So you're gonna substitute the expression x in the function f of x with -1. Watch me carefully now. You have to observe. So I'm gonna say then 4 minus 5 bracket minus 1. So it looks like the first thing that you just did. So now it's 4 plus 5 will become 9. But we're going to square the 9 plus 1. I'm going to go back through it again. But let me finish it first, and I go back through it. So it says 9 squared plus 1. And square of 9 is 81 plus 1. The answer then is 82. I'm going to go through it one more time. One deggy time, right? One deggy time. Now, so we are saying, and for those who are watching from abroad, good night to everyone. I see the numbers increasing. Good night, good night. And just say good night and where you're from. Every Tuesday night, we'll be going through some past paper questions, and we'll look at some techniques that you can use to understand, to comprehend exam questions and such the like. So we're not going to be waiting when it's near exam, giving it time to learn and to practice. And we're going to have some quiz competition. But guess what? Can have quiz competition with only one person on the channel, one person coming to the YouTube sessions. You will have several persons. I'm going to put a link in the YouTube chat so that persons who are in the YouTube chat can also participate in the quiz competition. And guess what? We might have a giveaway. And the giveaway can only be a credit to your phone, to your cell phone. So the winner will get that credit. So every night we're going to have a competition. Starting next week, we're going to have a competition. And it give you practice as well. All right. So not just practice alone, but a gift to come with it. All right. All right. So let's go back to part 2 of the question again. So part 2 of the question I said before is a composite function. How do you know when the two letters come together? But how you know which one goes where? That's the question. Now, this f of -1 is going to go where the x is in G. Got that? You got that? Right. Now, so what I did, where x is, I write the function f of x right there. See? I put a square outside because I'm square x. Then this -1 is where is in the position of x in f of x function. So I put it back right here. It's -1. Then I compute it or calculate it or work it out, and I end up getting 82 at the end. All right. You can always go back over the video if that miss you. All right. Let's now move on to the third part of the question. Third part of the question. All right. Now, you must try to comprehend, first of all, what does expressions mean? What these expressions mean. Now, guess what? What the expressions mean right here? It's simple this. This part, this is the third one. Well, if anybody knows and you're in the YouTube chat, you could also say good night and give me the answer because I'm speaking to you, not to myself, but those who are viewing. All right. Share the link with another friend that you know that will be doing exam next year. Share the link with a friend or a family member. Just share it with them. If you have not yet subscribed either subscribe to the channel so you can know when I'm coming live again next week. All right. God's willing, all things being well. All right. So f minus f to the negative 1 or f raised to the negative 1. What does it mean? And I'm going to tell the students. Whether you're using a textbook, watching a video, you're in class, teacher writes something on the board, always ask the question, even to yourself, what does this mean? The brain wants to know what this means. So when you ask yourself the question, what does this mean? You're going to now try to determine what it means. You're going to look for what it means. When you find what it means, it satisfies something that you're able now to continue to learn more about the thing. So what this means when you see it, it means the inverse of the function. Good? The inverse of the function. So when you're going to find the inverse of a function, then there's a method or a procedural, or they call it procedural understanding, a method you can use to find it. Now, inverse meaning that you probably can reverse the actions. Now, if you look at let's look at the operations used for the f of x function. We see subtraction, we see multiplication. So where's the subtraction, you may ask? The subtraction is right here. Right here. That's 1. Then we see multiplication right here. So there are two operations that you have to show that reverse it. So you might end up adding and dividing. Let's see if that is true. Let's see how it is done. Ready? Let's go. Now, so first we're going to rewrite f of x as y equal to 4 minus f 5x. That's the first step. To change the f of x to y. Your second step is to interchange. So wherever x is, wherever y is rather, you're going to put x. And wherever x is, you're going to put y. So we'll call it interchange. Was that difficult? That's step number 2. So step number 1 All right. Now, just a little break. I had to take a call, all right? No. So watch me now. So let's go back over it. So the first step, and it's not difficult. First of all, you can't have a mental block when you're learning mathematics. Come with an open mind. Come willing to look, listen, and sometimes even touch. Right? So you must come to look, listen, and sometimes even what? Touch. So this is how we go now. So we'll first change f of x to y. That's number one. Number two, you change spaces. Wherever you have y, you put x. Wherever you have x, you put y. So that's number two. Second step now, you're going to what? Solve for who? Solve for y. Let's go. So you're going to solve for y. Well, normally I like to write this part on this side. I love to write that part on this side. So that's going to be equal to now x. So first, I'm going to say minus 5y is equal to x minus 4 this time around. So this the last time we still have it. Well, we still have this way. Still have it this way. Good. All right. Then now we're going to have y is equal to x minus 4 divided by negative 5. And of course, you know a negative divided by a negative can give you a what? Positive. Good? So there we have it. So note now, you can rewrite this and say, okay, this is going to be negative 5x and positive 4/4. So that's basically it now. And therefore, this will equal to minus x plus 4 all divided by 5. Good? And that will be the inverse of the function f of x. Easy. 1, 2, 3, don't it? Easy. 1, 2, 3. Good. Easy. 1, 2, 3. Right. We're going to take one more question. One more question. We're going to take one more question and then send it to your bed. So each session we're going to have is going to be 45 minutes. Don't want to make it too long. It's a 45-minute sessions. And then as time goes by, we'll increase the sessions, right? Now, so let's look at question number 16. This was January 1996. Maybe long before some of you were born, eh? All right, so given that h of x is equal to what now? Now, first of all, it looks like a fraction, don't it? Take your time. Sometimes some persons fail mathematics because of anxiety issues. Some persons have what we call anxiety issues, right? Now, to get rid of the anxiety, you have to take a deep breath and count 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let it down. Count again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Take a deep breath again. Count 1, 2, 3, 4. So anytime you have anxiety issues, you exhale, count for 4. You inhale, count for 4. Inhale, count for 4. Exhale, count for 4 until you start to relax. Another thing too you can do is ask yourself some questions. What do I know about this? what I'm looking at, first of all, because remember, it's a language. First of all, it looks like a fraction. Yeah, why? Because of this line right here. Of the line. Good? No. Second of all, what's the substitution, don't it? Substitution is there, right here. Good? So we're saying now, we're going to substitute wherever, see, look again. Use your eyes carefully. X is replaced by -2. So wherever you say X, you're going to put negative what? 2. So let's calculate. Let's calculate. So we're going to calculate now. So we're going to say -2, and I put bracket, square, minus 16. Good. Then -2 again, minus 2. So I've done my job, was to replace the value, replace the letter X with the value -2. So let's go. The square of -2 is going to give us 4 minus 16. And then -2 minus -2 is equal to -4. You work what's at the top first. You're going to get -12 divided by -4. And when you divide two negative numbers, you're going to end up with a what? Positive number, which is positive what? 3. So that's the first answer. 3, right? No. The next part of the question now. It says the value of X for which f of X is equal to what? 0. So note, let me ask a big question now. Can I ask a question? Remember, it's an entire fraction, you know. So they want to know what is the value of X when the function is equal to 0, when Y is 0. Because h of X is the same thing as Y, same way. Good? Now, think about it. This is where my students, who comes to see my maths classes, CDP Library Services, or JOSA, they have to think. And I tell my students to look and look and look. I train them to look. And they will see. It's right there in front of you. Always in front of you. Always. Always in front of you. No. If you go on your calculator now, and you say, what number over what number over what number will give me 0? 1 divided by 0 is how much? Still 0, right? Or, well, not necessarily. So you will use a calculator and tell me, is it 0 divided by 1 give us 0? Because there's something called undefined. There's something called undefined. Now, if you go on your calculator, right? Go on the calculator. Go on the calculator. And you're going to tell me now, if I have 5 divided by 0, you're going to say undefined. So the denominator cannot be set to 0. Cannot be set to 0. So, but if you say 0 divided by 5, then it'll be 0. That simply means then the numerator is what you're going to set to be 0. Good? So when you set the numerator to be 0. Good? Set the numerator to be 0. Where's the numerator? At the top right here. Remember I told you? Looks like a fraction. So we're going to set this side to be equal to what? 0 first. Now the question is asking now, when you subtract two same numbers, you will get 0. Of course, don't you agree? You will get 0. So then the question is then, what is the value of x where when you square it, it is equal to 16? 4, obviously. 4 times 4 is 16, and 16 from 16 is 0. So the value of x then will be what? 2. So that's the answer. All right? So I hope you understand that. And it comes with practice. Now, coming to watch a teacher teach certain things on YouTube, not always helpful for some students. I'm sure of that. And that's the reason why I'm inviting you to look below on the link in the description. Sign up with the class. Sign up with the class, come to the classes, and of course, you will be trained to pass this exam. We not only offer mathematics, we offer other subject areas like the sciences, physics, chemistry, biology, English language, and other subjects. So you can click on the link below in the description, go straight to the application, and apply to join this class. Now, in the classes, I don't just tell my students things, I allow them to think for themselves, solve problems for themselves, use their brain, and the class is interactive. They will not sleep. They will stay awake because they're busy doing work. So we are now promoting, we have been promoting rather, our free three weeks classes. You can join the class 3 weeks before. And if you are learning and you want to continue in the program, then you can proceed. And of course, our cost is very, very affordable. All right. But now we want to talk about the free 3 weeks part of the program. So get out your cell phones, bring up your camera, and I'm going to have you scan the QR code. All right. You can scan the QR code and it will also take you straight to the thing. Now we started our promotion on September 3rd and we continue all the way to December. All right. So we're going to now bring up our thingy right here. All right. Okay. All right. So if you want to be able to pass this maths exam or any other CXC exam that you have struggling with, then we're inviting you to our free 3-week introductory online program. Give your child or yourself a strong start with our hands-on interactive learning program designed to introduce the CSEC syllabus in language arts, mathematics, and the sciences. Now, the program started September 3rd, but we continue with the program, our free 3-week introductory online program. You can scan the QR code on the flyer to register and book your sessions. After enrolling, you will receive an email with the class link and schedule. For the free 3-week trial, there's no cost to start. Covers the CSEC syllabus in 3 core subject areas, interactive hands-on activities, builds confidence, and exam readiness. So click on the link in the comments in the description area, and of course, you'll be able to apply for this program. So next week, Tuesday, God's willing, all things being well, we'll come right back to this channel and we'll look at a different topic. Each night's a different topic. So we looked at a brief look at functions and relations tonight, and we looked at the composite function, looked at inverse of a function, and there is more. So come next week, we will continue. Thank you very much for stopping by. And remember, invite your friends and your family who will be doing CSEC exams. Have a good night. Take care.